Alright, so this is all playing out on the same day. Welcome back to the channel. Today is an awesome day. As you saw in the last video, we went over to Troy's, gave him some wheels, car got on the dyno, and by now you already know what kind of power it makes. At this point, I still don't even know because it's in the future for me, but it's in the past for you. But yeah, so we're going over to his house to drop those wheels off, and we're going to get into this video about the Mustang. The Mustang is hitting the dyno. I've got to go over here, give him this stuff, and get back to the house so I can get the Mustang ready. In the mix of me taking the Mustang to the dyno, I am taking it over to a buddy of mine's house first thing tomorrow morning to drop off the hood and the bumper and the side skirts. He's gonna paint them for me. I can paint them, sure. It's just a huge pain in the ass to get my garage prepped and ready for doing any type of body work. It makes a mess. And I'm more of a mechanic style garage and fab work and all that stuff. I don't want paint stuff all over my garage. I'm past that. I stopped painting cars for a reason. He's an amazing painter. I will honestly say that more than likely the hood, the bumper, and the side skirts are going to look better than the rest of the car, hands down. I got to try and tell him, like, hey bro, don't make it too shiny. I mean, the car is nice, don't get me wrong, but this guy can freaking paint. Also, he has rat rods and patinaed trucks as well, which is funny because he's a painter. I won't necessarily call myself a painter, but I have painted before, and we both have rusty vehicles. It's kind of a weird thing. And then from there, we're gonna drive and put it on the rollers, but it's just gonna make it easier to transport all that stuff. I don't want a hood flying out of the back of the truck or none of that. But yeah, it'll just make it easier to transport all the pieces if they're attached to the car. And I gotta have the car on the trailer anyways, so just makes sense. But anyways, we're gonna get to this video. We're gonna head over, do all that, and then we'll be at Taos Performance putting this thing on the dyno, and hopefully just make some shakedown pulls on the wastegate, and maybe we'll turn this boost controller on and see what kind of power this thing makes with the new heads and all that stuff. Sure is pretty. We'll see what kind of power it makes. I'm honestly not really trying to make any real big numbers. I just want to shake the car down, make sure everything's good, make sure fueling and stuff's good, and then see what it makes on the gate. And then from there, I mean, if we can mess with the boost controller or whatever, if we can't, whatever. I don't really care. I just want to shake it down and make a couple pulls and see what it makes on gate. I don't know. Alright, so we added 7 pounds of dough.
Somebody call Garrett. That's not how this works. What?
like when the converter caught.
Hey, you put about 5 or 6 more on it to get the converter.
Right.
Gary said 580.
Yeah.
Gary.
We put 14 on the dome. See what it makes here. Then we figure out RPM signal.
It sounds weird. Like it sounds different than the truck.
It's going to be lower on power because the compression difference. So,
I kept telling you put more pressure on it.
well, he's wanting more pressure so it hits the converter. But the converter's bringing it down.
Fucking magic circle, man.
It's still trying to catch the converter.
Yeah.
And it's still carrying too.
Yeah. That's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And what's more?
Huh?
725.
725. Huh? You good?
A lot more than we thought we was gonna make.
No, it's not.
What are you talking about?
I knew it was going to make 700.
It's like
I literally said-
725. That's like 860
I told
to.
him 712.
I understand, but that's like 860 to the crank.
Quit thinking about shit and press the skinny pedal, mother. God damn.
I know he builds motors, but I'm not trying to have him push
We
the
don't build the
fucking
motor.
car off
He
the
does.
dyno.
Push the pedal. Get the fuck out.
Hey, listen, I get it, but it's a stock LSA short block.
Quit. If you say stop one more time, we're gonna fight. I
Just-
swear.
14 PSI on the dome.
Yeah.
Let's see what that means. Have you figured out like what that makes? Oh yeah, dude, it sounds good. It just sounds different.
Yeah. Way different.
I don't want to. After hearing the truck for so long with the same setup.
What are they gonna make, Jake? What are they gonna make? 900? How do they make? Boost? Yeah, boost cut. Exactly what it was. I had the boost cut at 14 pounds. Huh? That was spicy.
I'm pretty sure that's fun.
Yeah, it did. 887 knocked the tire off like 6,000.
Yes, it did.
All right, so we got her back home. We're getting ready to unload it off the trailer here. Car did really good. I went back and looked at some of the data logs and stuff from the pulls we made, and we got the dome pressure thing kind of sorted out. It was, I think on the gate, it made like 4.5 pounds. And then it made like 470 on the gate. I didn't do obviously any tuning. This was an old tune-up that I had in the BK back when I first put the 6.2 and the 88 in it. Everything's the same, fuel injectors, fuel pump, turbo, motor. The only thing different is these new RPC cylinder heads that we put on the car. They did do really well. I was really impressed with them. New turbo kit seems to do really well. We went from 4 pounds on the gate, just straight up, whatever the gate spring was. And I went straight to, I think, 7 pounds on the dome. 7 pounds on the dome, made roughly 7 pounds of boost. And then from there, it seemed like it progressively didn't stay 1-to-1 like that. It's relatively close. But it was, we went up to 14 pounds of dome pressure and it made 11.5 pounds of boost. So you got about 3 pounds there. And then we went from 14 pounds to 20 pounds on the dome there on the end. We changed a couple things on the PID before we made that 20 pounds of dome pull. And I went back and looked at the log because I briefly looked at it when we were on the dyno there, and it made like 21 pounds. Well, I knew this motor before. This thing would make almost 1,000 on like 17. So I'm like, okay, this thing's down on power, whatever. To be expected. The heads dropped compression. It was hot. It was like 107 heat index yesterday. The DA was like 3,600 foot. I mean, it was just a terrible day to be on the dyno if you wanted to see a number, which obviously the numbers don't really matter on the dyno. It's just a tool. But I had an idea where this motor should have been. But I did go back and actually look at the data log, and we changed the PID settings on it, and it spiked more with the PID settings that we had, and then it tapered off and came back down. Once it tapered off and came back down and made peak power, it only made like 16.5 pounds, and it hit that it hit the tire. It spun the tire, and it was trying to catch it, but then we got out of it early. We almost hit a boost cut on that one. It may have blipped a boost cut, but it reverted to gate. And it all happened so fast, it didn't seem like it changed a whole lot, but it did taper off and hit like 16.5, and it kind of fluctuated there for a few hundred RPM of the pull before we shut it down, because it was, it just came up and just hit the tire, and it was just not a good clean pull. But after going back and seeing that, I did see that it was starting to lose fuel pressure, which is what happened the last time we had it on the dyno, up around like 19 pounds before. When it was in the boost knuckle, it would do the same thing. The fuel pressure kind of started nosing over and coming down on us. It's got plenty of injector, just not enough pump. So I know that 20 pounds of dome pressure is a no-no on this setup, which is good. Now I know moving forward from here. But it made like 890, I think is what it made there on the end. And it made that at 16.5 pounds. So, I mean, pretty good. Like I said, to be expected to be down on power because of the temp, the DA, and these new cylinder heads with the compression drop. But other than that, made almost 900 on less than 20 pounds. So, I mean, it's pretty cool. It is a 6.2 LSA, stock bottom end motor with some aftermarket RPC or their sister company's Excess Flow. Not a real known company, but they're working on it, and that's why we're testing these heads out for them. Yeah, thanks a bunch to Randy and the guys over there. We're glad to have them be a part of this, and hopefully we can do some more testing with some other products they have to offer. And then everybody else that that's a part of this, anybody that that's helped out along the way. My brother for letting me get this car from him, and rather than selling it to someone else and letting some kid destroy it by putting a small block Ford in it. I'm gonna hear about that. But anyways, we're gonna get this thing off the trailer, get it down in the garage, and then get this video edited tonight. I don't think I'll send this one out first. I'm gonna do the Civic dyno video first, and then we'll do the Mustang video after that. And then shortly after that, this week's gonna be a busy week, and then we're headed to Detroit for the roadkill race, roadkill nights, I think is what it's called. We're not taking this, we are taking the BK. But yeah, we got to head to that this week, so I got a bunch of work to do, just maintenance stuff on the tow pig and stuff just to get it ready, and then a couple little things I want to do to the boost knuckle before we take it as far as safety goes. I don't know if I'll do a video on it. I may or may not. I'm going to be so busy, I don't know if I'll have time to edit. So I'm going to try and get both these videos, these dyno videos, edited tonight, and then post up hopefully these two this week. And then next week, hopefully I can do the video for the Roadkill Nights race. We'll see how that goes. Should be pretty cool. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, comment, like, subscribe. Please leave comments. It's really cool to see what people have to say. I don't get a lot of comments. I get some from, it seems like I got like a half a dozen people that you know, regularly comment, and I appreciate it. It's nice to hear from you guys, and it's nice to get a little constructive criticism every now and then too, to kind of keep us, you know, keep us level. But it's gonna do it. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.